So, good evening, good morning, good day, whatever time it is that you're catching this video. Thank you obviously for those of you who are here in person, and if you are practicing it from, repeatedly, if you've done it already, or whether it is your first time, it's good to kind of introduce what we're about to do. So what we are about to do is a practice which is kind of towards samadhi. We did a practice towards samadhi with the pranayama and the kriya and the meditation. We'll combine that because what we really want to do today is to kind of follow the path of Hatha yoga towards a state of samadhi from which, bigger things can happen. So from samadhi comes Raja yoga, or the royal path. First of all, we need to get there. So we'll start with asana. We're going to build the asana up, and because we're following the path of Hatha yoga, and especially this month and the next few months, we really want to try to understand the different elements within this path, the energetics of this path. So we're looking at moving energy. Okay, so traditionally, according to the Hatha traditions, Tantric Hatha yoga, the idea is that you, first of all, you stabilize your prana, and then you bring the prana into the pelvic floor, and from there you lift it up all the way to the mid-brow center, and then meditation can happen, high state of meditation, aka samadhi, and then absorption, also known as laya, state of laya yoga. We might not get there today, but we're definitely going to kind of tread the path towards it. Okay, so physical, asana, also we're going to do pranayama, and we're also going to do kriya and then meditation to kind of finish it off, and we'll do some shavasana to kind of complete the whole thing and start again. Okay, so we started seated. So if you want to have a cushion, sit on it now, or if not, definitely have one around later on for the seated part. So taking any comfortable position, it could be cross-legged, or sitting on your heels, Vajrasana. Take a moment here and first of all, set intention. So sitting tall and straight, close your eyes, close the mouth, bring the palms together in front of the heart center. Let's take a few moments here to listen to the breath, to arrive. So allow everything within you to settle down. Settle into your base by noticing your feet, your sit bones. And every time you exhale, every time you release, you find yourself a bit more grounded, a bit more present. Every time you inhale, every time you kind of draw in, you find yourself sitting a bit taller and sitting much, much lighter. From that space, from that place, draw awareness to your intention for this practice. The general awareness, we are moving towards high states of meditation through the path of Hatha yoga, uniting yoga, the heart and the Tana, the sun and the moon within our body, an energetic path. So on that kind of grand scheme, what is your personal intention? With that in mind, slowly bow your head. Either stay here, or if comfortable, bring the arms towards the floor and drop the head down, down to the earth. Slowly coming up to sitting, releasing the hands. So the hands can rest against your hips. We start to move the body. Starting with moving the head from right to left. So kind of looking over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder. So while the movement is external, start to draw awareness to the central channel, to your spine. And then bringing the head to the center, we're doing ear to shoulder. So again, noticing the spine, this time obviously it's the neck moving. Then moving the head up and down. Again, the neck is stretching and compressing. That turns into circles, reminding us that the energy, the flow well, is circular, spiraling energy. Change direction. So cultivating this spiral energy within the spine, coming to the center, place the palms against your thighs, Gently rolling your shoulders backwards. And gently rolling your shoulders forwards. So again, it's about smooth movement. It takes you deeper inside. Also helps you to remove some stiffness from your body. Relax. Bring the palms together, interlock your fingers. Circle your wrists. And change direction. You can notice that fluidity, that ease. It's not just in your wrist, it's all over your body. Release your hands. Gentle twist. So you can use your arms to twist from side to side. And then come to the center. You can rest your hands on your knees, or you can rest the hands on top of each other against your shins. We're circling the waist. So moving the waist, drawing a circle with your coccyx, drawing a little circle on the floor. Aiming to keep the head fairly stationary, just gentle movement with the belly and the hips. Change direction. That's it, move with ease. And come to the center. Okay, take a breath in. And then gently twist towards the right. And bringing your left shoulder down towards your right knee and sliding the left hand a bit further away. Head drops down, so left ear towards right knee. Then coming back to the center. It doesn't matter if your shoulder is very, very far away from your knee. You just twist towards the left in this case and drop down. That's it. So the hand stays on its respective knee. That's it. And just the shoulder comes down. That's it. Yeah. The other hand is kind of hugging the thigh. And again, coming back to the center. And you can look if it's a bit kind of unclear. So I got one hand kind of bracing my thigh. The other arm stays on this knee and the arm is straight. And because of the length of my arm, the hand has to slide away. So my shoulder can drop a bit lower. And I'm turning my head and looking towards the right to bring my left ear closer to the floor. That's it. Let's go back to the other side. So come to the center to inhale. Great. Use the hand on the knee, brace, twist, and then drop that shoulder down. So again, the hand stays on its knee. Right hand, right knee, drop the shoulder down. Looking towards the left, right ear down. And come back to the center. Fantastic. Okay, come to the center. Again, just notice how you feel. We're taking a little forward here, so extend your legs. And if your body feels a bit stiff, you can keep the knees bent. Otherwise, you can use your hands to kind of move the flesh away from the sit bones, big toes together, arms reach up as you inhale, Dandasana. We're taking an easy variation of Paschimottanasana, so reach as far forward as you can. If you can't hold onto your toes, use a belt or hold onto your legs. Look forward as you inhale. And then ease yourself down as you exhale. Don't overdo it, just relax down. Okay, we'll come back to this one later on. For now, just ease yourself down. Don't try to stretch. Just drop the head down and curl in. Slowly coming up to sitting. Okay, we're going to come up now. We're going to go to Uttanasana, so in any way that works for you. Feet on the floor, big toes together, and folding over your legs. You can have your hands on the floor. If the floor is too far, you can hold the back of your legs. If your legs are too tight, bend the knees a bit. Just find your way. So we're taking a moment here to feel that compression in the belly, aiming your belly to rest on the thighs. And using the mind, draw it into your belly, breathe into your belly to anchor yourself. Slowly, if your knees bent, roll up to standing. Standing tall, roll the shoulders back. Arrive into the place, grounding for your feet. Focusing the gaze. Gaze is soft, drawing down towards the floor. Okay, so what we do is we're going to start moving here, and we're going to use the legs in various standing postures, like sun salutation, like other standing postures. So we bring in dynamic movement into this to obviously get some movements of energy in the body, but also to feel grounded for your legs. So if you want to modify the postures, please do so, make them suitable for you, but stay with your legs, stay grounded. So feet, shins, you want to feel really connected to the earth. First of all, an easy sun salutation or a classical sun salutation, whatever that means. Big toes together, hands in front of the heart. Take a breath in. Breathe out, release your hands. Breathe in, sweep the arms and look up, palms together. And breathe out, ease yourself down towards the floor. Coming halfway up as you inhale. Then stepping your right leg back, knee on the floor as you exhale. So Anjaneya Asana here, so as you inhale, lifting the chest, reaching the arms, maybe lifting the gaze, breathing in. Then hands on the floor, we're stepping back to downward facing dog. Taking a breath in, downward facing dog. Then dropping the knees down to the floor as you exhale. Look forward as you breathe in. Now bend the elbows and bring the chest and the chin towards the floor, roughly between the hands. Then lie flat on your belly. Coming up to a first cobra, it doesn't need to be too deep. Just come up as you breathe in. And then ease yourself down, breathe out. Go all the way to downward facing dog. Taking a breath in. And as you exhale, connect it to the pelvic floor, give it a squeeze. Draw in. And as you release, connect to the pelvic floor, give it a squeeze. Again, draw in. And as you release, squeeze the pelvic floor. Look forwards and step the right foot forwards, left knee on the floor. Again, come into that lunge, so find your way as you inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, stepping forwards, Uttanasana. Coming all the way up as you breathe in, reach the arms, look up. Palms together, hands to heart as you breathe out. Take a breath in. And release your arms. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stepping left leg back, knee on the floor. Again, a low lunge, inhale, sweeping the arms up, Anjaneya Asana. And from here, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One breath in. With one exhalation, knees on the floor, chest and chin on the floor. And then lie flat on your belly. Coming up to a second cobra, and perhaps a little bit deeper. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, downward. Okay, we're taking 3 breaths here, so draw it in. And as you exhale, squeeze the pelvic floor. Find your feet, find your hands, ground yourself, breathing in. Then exhale, contract the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Once more, breathe in. And as you exhale, Mula Bandha, in the same exhalation, left foot comes forwards, right knees on the floor. So once more, Anjaneya Asana, reaching up, inhale. And stepping forwards, Uttanasana, exhale. Rise all the way to standing, inhale. And hands to heart center, exhale. Let's pause here for a few breaths. Ground yourself. Anchor yourself, connect with your feet. A slow breath in the belly region. Another breath in. Release your hands as you exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, folding hands towards the floor, Uttanasana. Coming halfway up, inhale. And we're going to downward dog, so either step it back or hop it back if you want to. Take a moment here, breathing in. And knees on the floor, breathing out. So cat and cow, or cow and cat, as you inhale, look forwards, lift your tailbone up. And as you exhale, go to the cat and we'll hold it for a few breaths. So rounding in and kind of pushing the floor with your hands, pushing the floor with your knees. If you close your eyes, if you can focus on those 4 points of contact, and draw like a square between them. So from knee to knee, to wrist to knee, square. And feel that square being charged with your hands, with your knees as they press down. And feel the effect of that stability on your body. So feeling strong, stable, and present. Take another breath there. In a similar way, either stay here or go to downward facing dog. Again, 4 points of contact, not exactly a square, but 4 points. So perhaps visualizing those points joining into a rectangle and feel the stability that comes with that. Take another breath there. When you're ready, look towards your hands. As you exhale, bring the right foot forward. Now turn yourself towards the left edge of the mat. Arrange your heels about a leg apart and your feet turning outwards about 45 degrees. Bend your knees. Rest your hands on your knees and rise to a horse stand. So knees are bent, the hands are kind of against the inside of the knees and they're brushing the knees outwards. Obviously you don't have to go very low. You want to feel stable, you want to feel present in your legs. If you keep your hands on your legs, it's slightly easier, especially if the arms are straight. If you want to be a bit more kind of challenged, you can take the hands off the legs, keep the knees bent. The hands can rest on the legs. So either resting the hands or pushing the hands, resting with the hands, up to you. Just taking 3 breaths here. Connect to your feet. Inhale, draw it into the pelvic floor. And exhale, squeeze the pelvic floor and release. Again, inhale, draw in, and release. Once more, draw in, and release. As you release, kick your heels out, straighten your legs and fold down, hands towards the floor, pressure it. So taking a few breaths here and pressure it, and we're connecting again with the feet, with the hands. If they touch the head to the floor, you connect with the head as well. But either way, stability. Stability of the breath. Take another breath. Slowly lift your head, look forwards. We're going to walk the feet in a bit and come in towards a squat here, towards Malasana. So walk the feet in until the heels are about a foot apart, and then you drop down. So see each one of their squats. If you need to bring the feet closer, wider, stick something underneath your heels, make it more suitable, you can do that. Okay, whatever works for you. If your knees are not happy with today, just give it a miss. Come back to the previous one. Yeah, look after yourself. That's it. Yeah, hold it. So whichever posture you're holding, feet grounded. That's the main thing. The hands are touching the floor, hands grounded. Then relaxing the jaw down, allowing all that ease to drop down to the pelvic floor. Take another breath there. And then we're going to go to Uttanasana. So you can have the feet about hip width apart, turn your toes forwards, and then fold into Uttanasana. So once more, stability with the breath, calming with the mind. We're going to start to develop a bit of fluidity, so bend your knees, slowly bring yourself up to standing. Okay, so kind of going through the elements. The first element was earth, we're feeling grounded. Now we're coming to the second element, which is water, so we want to find some fluidity. So there will be some movements kind of looking towards the front of the mat, looking towards the back of the mat. It can be a bit confusing, don't let it confuse you, just enjoy moving. Okay, the main thing here is movement from stability. So think of your feet, your shins for stability, then moving up into your hips to get that movement from there. Okay, so again, starting in the front of the mat. Take them over there. Bring the feet together. As you inhale, reach your arms all the way up. We'll add some movement here for the spine here, so I'll do it actually facing forward. So open the arms wide and twist towards your right as you exhale. And come into the center as you inhale, arms are still out. And twist towards your left as you exhale. And coming to the center, reach your arms up as you inhale. Then lean towards your right as you exhale. You can have your right hand on the hip. Come to the center, change the hands as you breathe in. And lean towards the other side. Come towards the center, reaching up. And folding forward. So we're going to use those twists and the side bend throughout. So look forward as you inhale. Now step your right leg back, knee on the floor as you exhale. Lift your arms, come to a low lunge as you breathe in. Open the arms wide and twist towards your left as you breathe out. Into that bent knee side. Good, come to the center. Left hand on the hip, right arm to the sky as you breathe in. And lean towards the left as you breathe out. Come to the center, both arms reach up as you inhale. and sink forwards as you exhale. Feel that big opening on the front of the right thigh and the groin. Take another breath there. Then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So we're doing a movement here as promised, so knees on the floor, inhale into cow. Now keep the knees on the floor and just shift your hips forwards. They don't need to touch the floor, coming towards a modified cobra. So thighs, pubis bone off the floor. Inhale back into the cow. We do it twice more. And exhale, just shift forwards, drop the hips down a bit. Exhale. One more time, inhale coming up. And exhale, shift it forwards. Now stay here, take a breath in. Breathe out. Tuck your toes, inhale back into the cow. And downward facing dog. So we're going to carry on with the hips, so stepping your right foot to the hands, inhale. Now turn towards the left, straighten both legs, exhale. Preparing for the straddle, look up as you breathe in, and then fall down as you breathe out. Lift up as you breathe in, turn towards the front of the mat, and step forwards as you exhale. Come halfway up, breathing in. Now stepping your left leg back, knee on the floor as you breathe out. Reaching your arms high as you inhale. Open the arms wide, twist towards your right as you exhale. Come towards the center, reaching your left arm up, right hand on the hip, breathing in. And lean towards the right. Coming for the center, both arms reach up as you inhale. You can look down, forwards or up. And sink forwards as you exhale. Taking a deep breath in. And again, the hands come to the floor. We're stepping back to downward facing dog. And as before, knees on the floor. Look up in the cow as you breathe in. And drop the hips forward as you breathe out. Either repeat twice, or you can do downward dog to modified upward dog. So come back to either cow or downward dog. Inhale. And then shifting forward, either knees on the floor or knees off the floor. Modified upward dog with the toes tucked under. Just one more. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, shift it forwards. Wherever you are, if the knees on or off the floor, take 2 breaths. So deep breath in. Breathing out, feeling that expansion in the lower abdomen. Breathing in. Breathe it out. Knees on the floor. Shift back. Walk the hands back and come up to kneeling. If you need something underneath your knees, please do so. Check that your knees are kind of pointing forwards, so they're not wider than your hips. And we're going to go towards expansion in the front of the lower abdomen again through a camel. So either hands on your back or on your heels. Bring the hips forwards, lift the chest up, take the chin back, and breathe. Of course, modifications here, if it's too low, hands staying on the hips. If it's not low enough, just flatten your feet. Either way, keeping the hips above the knees or even a touch further forwards. Feel a big opening in the belly. One more breath. Slowly coming up. And sit it back, bring the feet, the heels together, sit on your heels. Take a moment and absorb what you just did. Close your eyes if you can. And breathe again to the kind of pubis bone area and pubis plate. So we're drawing more energy into that area. So gradually, as you can see, we're moving up through the elements, moving up from the base. We're going to move up towards the mid-brow center, nice and slow. So the next element we want to work with is the navel. The element is fire that resides in the navel. We're going to do that through twists. Seeing as we have grounding through our feet, we have opening for the hips. We'll do it in a standing posture, we do it in a twisting triangle pose. Okay, let's first of all get to the standing. So coming to a downward dog. Take a breath in. Either stepping forwards or hopping forwards, bring the feet together at the front. Look up as you inhale. And fold over your legs as you exhale. Then rise all the way up to standing, reach your arms, look up. And hands on the lower abdomen. Okay, so feeling the breath in the lower belly. So thumbs are kind of resting against the navel. Allow yourself to connect mentally with the element of fire. A steady flame that burns brightly and dispels the darkness, rather than a raging kind of wildfire that destroys everything. So before the twisting triangle pose, let's find some, first of all, fire of conviction. So we're going to bring the feet about hip width apart, and we'll go into Utkatasana, into chair pose, so toes kind of pointed forwards, bend your knees. We don't want to lift the arms up, we want to keep them on the lower abdomen. And just sitting into that fire. It's going to rise from your legs. If you can't feel anything, you can come to the balls of the feet. Just feel the belly moving forwards as you inhale, pulling back as you exhale. Steady breath. Slow breath. One more breath. The heels on the floor, foot forwards, hands to the floor too. Come halfway up, inhale. And we're going to downward dog as you exhale. From downward facing dog, bringing your right foot to the hands. Center the left heel on the floor, we're rising to warrior one. As you inhale, reach your arms up, warrior one. And then bring the hands down to your hips and straighten the front leg. Take a deep breath in. And from here, start tipping the hips forwards and bring the chin down towards the inside of the right shin. As you do so, you can release your hands and place them on the floor or on bricks if the floor is too far, folding over your leg. So first of all, find that compression in the belly, stability through your legs. Take another breath there. And slowly you bend the front knee and lift your arms up back into warrior one. Inhale. Again, release the hands, straighten the front leg as you exhale. Okay, so before we do a twisting triangle pose, a normal triangle pose. So with the hips, rather than turning towards the front of the mat, adjust the back foot, turn it left until your hips are facing left. Great. From here, draw the thigh of the right leg up, tip your pelvis, and slide your right hand down the right leg as low as it wants to go. And then reaching your left arm up towards the sky. Tantric Asana. Okay, so if it's a lot to think about, don't lift the arm up. And focus more about what you need to do here internally. So connecting with the feet, grounding. Feeling the inner right thigh, the left kind of groin opening, fluidity. And now connecting with the belly and rotating your navel upwards towards the ceiling. That's the fire element. Hold it there, inhale. Then rebend the front knee. Bring yourself back up like you're doing warrior two for a moment. Relax your arms. Again, turn towards the front by adjusting the back foot. If the back leg needs to go a bit further left, that's fine. Now we're going to go for the twisting triangle pose. So left arm goes up as you inhale. Both legs stay straight. Reach forwards with the arm with the spine and bring the left hand down towards the floor underneath left shoulder. Either fingertips, palm flat, or using a block. Now from here, start to bring your navel towards the right, your shoulders towards the right, and maybe the right arm up. You can look up towards the thumb or look down towards the floor. Either way, breathe from your belly and cultivating that fire. If this is not fiery enough for you, you need a bit more spice, you can turn it into a twisting half moon. You can just move that left hand about a foot further forwards, take the left foot off the floor, the spine is doing the same action. It's harder. Wherever you are, take another breath. Both hands on the floor, both feet on the floor. Look up as you inhale. And again, folding over that front leg as you exhale. You find that fire, take another breath. And we're stepping back to downward dog. Take a moment here, bring your knees down to the floor. And look up as you inhale, feel the belly, lower belly, mid belly, stretch it all the way to the chest. And again, we're going to round it in the cat, so push the floor, rounding in, so feeling that those four corners, stability. The navel is drawn up, so it's a bit more fire here. If it's not fiery enough for you, all you need to do is lift your knees a touch off the floor. So again, 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and let go, squeeze the pelvic floor. And one more breath in. And as you release, knees on the floor, we're taking the heart pose now, so reach your arms forwards and drop the forehead, the chin, or the chest down towards the floor. Deep breath in, breathe out, deep breath in, and breathe out. Slowly coming forwards to a forearm position, so Sphinx. And you can hold the Sphinx here as you are, keep it easy. Or if you want to again add to that fire, bring the chin down and peel the belly off the floor. And bringing the tailbone under. If this is fiery enough for you, you can hold it here. If you can't feel it enough, you can do it as a forearm plank. Again, 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, keep that tailbone tucked under. Exhale. So you want to make it more challenging, shift more weight forwards. 1 breath in. Breathe out. Knees on the floor. Walk that hand slightly back. And we're going back to downward facing dog. Yeah, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to turn to the other side of my mat. You can obviously stay where you are. It all kind of starts with warrior 1. So left foot comes forward, right heel is on the floor. The hips facing forward as you inhale, rise to warrior 1. Then release your hands on the hips, straighten the front leg. Check your hips are facing forwards. Back foot is about kind of 45-ish degrees. Breathing in, lift the chest up, breathe from your belly. And then forward over that front leg as you exhale. Hands can come down. So big toe staying on the floor. Hands pressing down evenly on the floor, on fingertips, on bricks. Connect to the navel. Another breath. Breathe out, bend the front knee. Inhale, coming back up to a warrior 1 position. Then release your hands and straighten the front leg. So warrior 2 first. Turn the back foot outwards about 90 degrees till your hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Perfect. Keeping the front leg straight, lift the kneecap up by contracting your quads. Reach your arm forward, bring it down on the leg towards the floor. Then rotating from the navel towards the sky as you send the other arm up towards the ceiling and maybe the gaze too. So feet, stability, hips, fluidity, belly, fire. Another breath there. Rebend the front knee, come back up through a warrior 2 as you inhale. Release your hands, straighten the front leg. Again, turn towards the front of the mat, adjust the back foot, turn it in about 45 degrees with the hips coming with it. Okay, now twisting triangle, or if you want to, you can turn it into a twisting half moon. So, right arm goes up as you inhale. Keep the arm and the spine the same-ish line as you start folding. Release your arm down, fingertips, block, palm, stabilize with that right arm. Rotate the inner elbow forwards, then twist from your navel towards the left and send the arm up and look up. And once more, if you don't find it challenging enough, you can move to a twisting half moon. Keep pressing that back foot into the air or into the floor, depends on the posture. Find stability. One more breath. Coming back down, both hands on the floor, framing the front foot. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold over that front leg. Stable breath in. Breathing out. Look forwards, inhale. And we're stepping back to downward dog. Exhale. Knees coming to either touch the floor or hover above the floor. Take a breath in. Round the back, breathe out. Pull that navel in, breathe in. Breathe out. Knees on the floor. Look up as you inhale the cow. And slowly walk the hands a bit further forwards. Elbows coming straight down to the floor. Either stay here or shifting forwards with the hips on the floor. Yeah, for like a sphinx or tucked sphinx or tucked plank, forearm plank. 3 breaths. Breathe it in and out. Tailbone under either way. Breathing in, tailbone under. Breathing out, nice and steady. 1 more breath. And release. Knees on the floor. Walk the hands back. Bring the big toes together. If you can, tuck the toes under, sit back on your heels. If that really doesn't work for you, relax your toes and sit back on your heels. So either way, if you can, keep the toes tucked under. I know it's not particularly comfortable, we're not going to stay here for very long. It just keeps you really alert because it's uncomfortable. Count the breath. Stabilize the mind, connecting with the belly. Feeling that fire now ignited. And start moving the energy higher up now towards the heart center. So again, we're connecting everything. We're not doing anything kind of, independently. Everything is coming consecutively, step by step by step. And that's like drawing by numbers from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, moving up and up and up and up with a very clear idea of where we're going. We're going here, number 6. Okay, so cobra or an upward facing dog, your choice. If neither one is working, we can do a locust as well. We will do a locust, but first of all, either a cobra or an upward dog from the heart center. So find your way to the pose. It works for you. You're both good. Finding the expansion, feeling that it's not just the chest opening, obviously everything is opening. Now bring the chest to be the center of your attention and breathe it directly into it. Drawing the breath in and releasing from the heart. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just needs to be deep, internalized. Just 2 more breaths in. Last breath. And slowly ease yourself down onto your belly. And as you ease yourself onto your belly, let's reach the arms behind, bring the big toes to touch. Interlock the fingers behind your back and shift your arms and your back and the shoulder blades together. And again, open up the chest. You can keep the chin in and lengthen through the crown of your head. Just feel the chest opening as your shoulder blades contract. Aim to bring your elbows close together, maybe even touch. Breathe into the heart. If you want to make it more challenging, you can lift your legs up or keep them on the floor. Take 1 more breath. Then transition into bow, so bend the knees using the belt if you need to, or find your legs or your shins. Send the shins back and up and open your heart. Two more breaths in. Last breath in. Slowly coming out. And press yourself to sitting back up, either with the toes tucked under or not. But this time roll the shoulders back. And if you can, interlock the fingers behind the back and lift the chest up. The fingers don't have to touch the floor. Just want to lift the chest up. Feel that expansion. Take another breath. And ease yourself out. Okay, so we're going to combine some of the things we did before. We did the lunge before. I want to combine the lunge into the heart. So let's step the left foot forwards and bring the right hand on the floor underneath right shoulder. But this time just walk the right knee as far back as available for you. Either stay as you are, or if available, reach your left arm behind and find your right leg and sink into it. So I'm using my right foot, I'm shifting it backwards to open up the chest. I'm looking back to open up for the left side of my chest. Take another breath there. And let's switch side. We're going for downward dog. So step back to downward dog. Take a moment there. Do the other side. So left foot forwards, right knees on the. Sorry, right foot forwards, left knees on the floor. Either stay here, just bring the right hand on the knee and lean back a bit. Or taking the left knee a bit further back, bend the knee, reach back if that's available, find your foot or your shin. Again, using that, so that's it, arm goes behind. Even if your hand is not on the leg, doesn't matter, just use the hand on the knee, so right hand can press down to the right knee, then you can use that to twist more and look back. That works just as well. If you can maintain the twist from your belly, just reach the arm behind. You don't have to find the foot at all. You can keep it on the floor. Just extend more for the chest. Well done. Take one more breath here. One more exhalation. And stepping back to downward dog and straight away knees on the floor. Step it back and drop your knees down. So we did heart pose before. Now we're just aiming a bit lower. So if possible, come to fingertips instead of palms and elbows. Okay, so walking the hands forwards, come to fingertips, and then dip the chest as low as you can. 3 breaths. One more breath. And slowly sliding out. Coming into a nice cobra. So coming back to the cobra, we start with the cobra here. Check how you feel now. Can you keep the chest open, the collarbones wide? And take the head back a bit, maybe tip it backwards. Can you feel the expansion? If you lift your chin up, you feel that stretch against the breastbone. One more breath there. And slowly coming out. So if you need to, you can go to child's pose. If you can't, sit back on your heels. If you want to go to downward dog, you can go there. Just taking a few moments to kind of process what just happened. So noticing the quality of the breath. We kind of focus on opening the heart. Can you feel that it's easier to breathe? And the breath, the quality of the breath is that of spreading. It's not just in and out, in and out. It goes in and it spreads everywhere. Okay, one more breath there. And then slowly release. We're going to go onto the back, working towards inversions progressively. So just listen out. Do what you need to do. If you know that going with the legs upside down is only working for you if you have a wall to put your legs against, a wall or maybe even a cushion to place underneath your hips or bolster, do that. Okay, we're starting with a bridge and then build up towards a shoulder stand. Just do what you need to do. If it's that time of the month, you don't go upside down. If you're carrying a child, if it's just not right for your neck, for your blood pressure, all these things for your heart, don't risk yourself. There's plenty of options. I'll talk you through them. Okay, so if you're not by the wall, if you are by the wall, let's start on our back. Okay, so feet on the floor, spine on the floor, hands by your side. We're setting up for a bridge, so set to Asana. Feet hip width, slightly more, quite close to your hips. Press into the hands, into the feet, and from stability, lift your hips up. Then rocking from right to left to tuck your shoulder blades close together. Interlock the fingers, press your arms into the floor. So we got expansion, we got stability, we got fluidity, we got fire. And now we're feeling the contraction in the throat. So chin and chest are coming towards each other, maybe even touching. And shifting to a very soft ujjayi, which is slightly audible. Using the feeling of ujjayi to connect yourself to the throat center. Taking one more breath there. And slowly ease yourself onto your back. And take a moment. Spreading your shoulders, relax your head. So feeling that energy again flowing through your body, but stay with the throat. So Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, contraction or link, connection. So if you don't want to do any of the kind of inversions, come back to the bridge, maybe slide a block underneath your hip so you can be in a supported bridge and you can stay much longer. Otherwise, step one, make fists, lift your bum, slide the fists underneath your bum, and then send your legs up towards the ceiling. So if this is what you want to do today, maybe do it against the wall so you can just rest your legs on the wall instead of your fists. Just use a block, a bolster, or a couple of things underneath to give you some support. So all these postures come under Viparita Karani, the inverted gesture. Whether it's this, a half, full shoulder stand, or a headstand. All the same idea. The idea is to go upside down. Either stay as you are, or press the elbows into the floor, lift your bum up, and use your hands to support your hips. So half shoulder stand. Big toes together, and feet roughly above the face, not beyond. Stabilizing the breath. And again, feeling the contraction in the throat. Focus on that. If this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, keep the chin in line with your breastbone. Just walk the hands further down your back and bring the hips above your shoulders for supported shoulder stand. Stabilize the breath. Smooth ujjayi. One more breath there. Either coming back into line on the back, legs up, or taking your feet up and over towards plow, Halasana. Keeping your legs straight, or rest the knees on your forehead, or on the floor by your ears. Slowly coming out, head staying on the floor the whole time. Control the descent of your spine. And once your feet are on the floor, knees are bent, release the arms on the floor by your side. And take a moment and receive the effect of the inversion. Very kind of in a very stable way. You could rock up. I will rock up. I'm coming up kind of through a boat to sitting. That doesn't work for you, roll to your side. But if you are coming up towards a boat, don't swing your legs. Try to come up in a really steady way. Just allow the feet to move further forwards. Let gravity lift you up. And then come up to sitting. You can have the feet on the floor or just hover them a bit You can have the hands on the floor or hover them a bit. Stabilize the breath. Don't make it super challenging. Allow that to kind of draw you in, so it's focusing rather than challenging. Taking a breath. And then moving into the next seated pose, so feet on the floor. We're going to have the right knee bent and left foot over in Ardha Matsyendrasana. So right heel can be underneath your left hip. Right leg can be straight if that's too much for your knee. So it's a twist. So left hand behind, we're catching in a right thigh, right hand or elbow or arm on the left thigh, twisting. So if comfortable, if your shoulder feels fairly open, the chest feels fairly open, you can have the right arm on the outside of the left knee. Maybe have the palm facing out. Or if comfortable, reach your hand down towards your left foot. And adjust yourself into the pose. And we're visualizing the energy. So the lower three chakras here, so pelvic floor, hips, and belly are all squeezed. So we're kind of harnessing that kind of squeeze, and we're lifting it upwards into the heart. From the heart, it expands out to the shoulders, kind of rises into the throat. We're going to slowly start turning the head either forwards or a bit right. And we're going to use Shambhavi Mudra, so the eyes look towards the mid-brow center. You can have the eyes open or closed, but you're looking up. So we're lifting the energy up. Take another breath there. And slowly release. Keep the left knee bent. Just slide keep the right knee bent. Just slide the left leg forwards. Okay, so left leg is straight, right knee still bent. Right foot against the inner left thigh, heel close to the perineum. Hands reaching down the left leg towards the foot. Now it's not a forward, there's no point trying to reach the foot and folding. You want to keep your spine long. This is internal work here, so close your eyes. Connect with the breath to the pelvic floor. And as you breathe in, visualize the breath rising from pelvic floor to hips, to navel, to heart, to throat, to mid-brow center, all on one inhalation. Hold that breath in. As you exhale, fold down, head touching the knee or coming towards the knee. Without breathing, sit up. Without breathing, then pull the navel in, Uddiyana Bandha. Release the belly. Breathe in from pelvic floor to mid-brow center, smoothly. Visualize the different locations along the way. Hold the breath in the top, the mid-brow center. Again, you can close your eyes and look up towards the mid-brow center. Crossing eyes, Shambhavi, the giver of peace, mudra, gesture. Hold it there. Exhale, fold, head down towards the knee. Empty your lungs, don't breathe, lift your spine up, draw the navel in, Uddiyana Bandha. So Uddiyana, flying up contraction. What is flying up is the prana, it's moving up towards the mid-brow center. Let go of the belly, take a breath. Exhale, we do it one more time. So focus pelvic floor, inhale from pelvic floor to mid-brow center. Hold the breath in, squeeze the pelvic floor. As you fold, exhale, forehead towards the knee. Without breathing, rise up, draw the navel in. Release the foot, sit up, hands on your knees, take a breath. And breathe out. Take another breath. And we're switching the legs. Okay, so we're going to fold the left knee points forward, right foot crosses over, sitting up, and we're twisting towards the right. So right hand behind you, left hand on the knee, so squeezing the first three centers, Go as far right as comfortable. As the previous side, that left hand can change. You can take the elbow to the outside of the knee and have the palm facing forwards in a fear not mudra, Vayu mudra, or flag hand, also known as flag hand. Or if your shoulder feels open, the hips feel open, reaching down towards your right foot, the big toe on the floor, and looking back. Either stay here or start to turn your head forwards or even right. And now lift the energy up to the mid-breath center. Maybe cross your eyes and look up. Shambhavi, Shambhavi, Shambho, the giver of peace. Shambhavi mudra, the gesture that gives peace. So looking up to the mid-breath center, internally thinking of drawing through the first three, lifting up to the heart, spreading, rising to the throat in like steam, coming to the mid-breath center, and bright light there. Ignition. One more breath there. And releasing, turn forward, adjust that left leg, take it further left, and straighten your right leg. So setting the legs like you're about to do Janu Shirshasana, but this is Maha, or the great mudra, with the locks, the Maha Bandha, the great lock. So hands reaching down towards the right leg, spine is aiming to be straight. So internal, breathe out, connect to the pelvic floor. Inhale from pelvic floor, hips, navel, heart, throat, mid-breath center. Hold the breath in. Exhale, forward, head down towards the knee. Without breathing, sit up and draw the navel in, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale from pelvic floor to mid-breath center. Hold the breath again, you can look towards mid-breath center internally. Focus more energy there. Exhale, forward, head towards the knee, doesn't need to touch. Without breathing, coming up, keep your arms straight and draw the navel in. Once more, inhale. Hold the top, Shambhavi mudra. Exhale, head to knee. Without breathing, sit up, Uddiyana Bandha. Release. Inhale, sit up, hands on the knees. Take a moment there again, absorb what you just did. Keeping your right leg straight, straighten the left leg as well. Do Janu Shirshasana. No Janu, sorry. Paschimottanasana. So like we started with, only perhaps this time you might realize that you can go a bit deeper, but it's not about deeper as in more stretchy, it's about deeper with your mind into your spine. Okay, so arrange your body, the physical aspect, comfortably. Reach down towards your feet, towards your toes, look up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, start folding. And once you're in a good place, start to connect with your spine, starting with the sacrum. As you inhale, move into the sacrum and kind of climbing up the spine, all the way for the base of the skull to the mid-breath center. That's one inhalation. As you exhale, moving down from mid-breath center down the front of the body, all the way to the pelvic floor. One long exhalation. Inhale, moving up along the spine, mid-breath center. Exhale, moving down the front of pelvic floor. And keep doing that.
Slowly rise up to sitting, breathe in.
Sit up, cross your legs as you breathe out. So here, if you want to use a cushion, might be a good idea. We'll sit at 10-ish minutes. Sit comfortably. Choosing an asana, a posture, a pose that you can hold comfortably. The spine is straight either way. Shoulders relaxed, chest open, belly open, neck, head, torso feeling very light, very comfortable. Lower body feeling very stable, very grounded. We're starting with Nadi Shodhana. Using your right hand, bring the first two fingers in or rest them on mid-brow center. Thumb and ring fingers sliding down the nose to the point where the bone meets the cartilage. Take a breath in. Breathe out, closing the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Hold the breath, close it. Open the right, breathe out. Inhale right. Hold the breath, close it. Exhale left. Now connect to the pelvic floor. Visualize the breath rising from pelvic floor, the left side of your body to the left nostril. Breathe in. Close it. Hold the breath. Now the breath is in the mid-brow center. Open the right as you exhale from mid-brow center down the right side of your spine all the way to the pelvic floor. Breathing out. Hold at the base. Squeeze the pelvic floor. Inhale from pelvic floor all the way to the right nostril. Hold the breath, mid-brow center. Exhale from mid-brow center, then the left side to pelvic floor. And continue in this way. Inhale left side. Hold the breath, mid-brow center. Exhale right side. Hold the breath, pelvic floor. Inhale right side. Hold the breath, mid-brow center. Exhale left side, pelvic floor. Inhale left, pelvic floor. To mid-brow center, hold. Exhale right, pelvic floor. Inhale right to the mid-brow center. Exhale left, pelvic floor. Now release the right hand and continue doing this without using your hand, just use your mind. So the breath is kind of doing this kind of shape, almost like an almond or an eye. Moving along the right side, down, then up. Moving along the left side, down, then up. Making this connection between the pelvic floor, the center, the abode of Shakti, energy, and the mid-brow center, the place of Shiva, consciousness. As you carry on this way, moving your mind, start to do that regardless of the breath. The breath will still happen. Just don't focus on the breath. Don't let the breath move the energy. Just move the energy, regardless of what the breath is doing. So these are Ida and Pingala, the sun and the moon channel, the sun on the right side, the moon on the left side. Now we want to go into the empty channel, the Sushumna, and draw both these energy into the pelvic floor and from it through the spine, moving straight up and straight down. Okay, so once you've breathing out through the left nostril in the pelvic floor, pause there and squeeze the pelvic floor, gentle mula bandha. It's more energetic rather than physical. And focus on your sacrum, the coccyx. And as you breathe in, lift up from the coccyx, through the sacrum, through the spine, all the way up, base of the skull. It crosses over to the center of the brain, mid-brow center. That's inhale. As you exhale, moving down to the spine, down along the spine, down to the coccyx. So inhale up the spine, and exhale down the spine. And keep going this way rather than going right or left, left or right, right down the center, up and down. You can use the breath to do that to begin with. And once you're comfortable with that, just use your mind, just up and down, up and down, up and down. So stages of progression, you might want to just stay with the breath up and down, or maybe just using your mind up and down, or you might want to stay in the mid-brow center. So we're also going to use sound here, the sound for each one of these energetic centers. And then the last sound will be in the mid-brow center. So usually the sound is Om for the mid-brow center as well as for the crown. To kind of differentiate between them, we're going to keep Om in the crown, and the mid-brow center is going to be Tum. T-H-A-M. Tum. The T, the Ta, is with the tongue touching the upper palate, cerebral sound. Tum. So either keeping your hands resting on your knees, or resting in the right hand above the left hand. So the fingers are still doing Gnan Mudra, the gesture of wisdom, and they're resting kind of against the lower hips, just above the pelvic floor. Internally, mentally, connect with the pelvic floor, close your eyes. And as you breathe in, mentally repeat Lam. Do it about 3 times. Lam, Lam, Lam. Then moving your awareness with the breath higher up behind the plate of the pubis. The sound here is Vam, V-A-M, Vam, Vam, Vam. Moving up to the navel, Rum, Rum, Rum. Just mentally repeating, feeling the navel, seat of fire. Moving up towards your heart center. Yum, Yum, Yum. Moving up towards the throat. 3 times repeating Hum, Hum, Hum. Moving up to mid-brow center. Tum, Tum, Tum. Either staying in the mid-brow center or moving up towards your crown. Just one Om. Om. So Samadhi in the mid-brow center. Yoga in the crown. staying here. Or slowly ease yourself on your back, just for a few minutes. Taking corpse pose to allow the body to kind of recover. Or staying seated up if you just want to continue and you're feeling fine. Just a few minutes. So if you want to stay lying down for a bit longer, feel free. You can just carry on. Otherwise, if you were ready to come up, do it slowly. Gently moving your hands, moving your feet. Closing, opening your eyes. Rolling to your side. Gently drop the legs in, drop the knees in. Bring yourself up to sitting. So finish sitting up, bring the hands to heart center, kind of concluding this practice. Bow the head down. As we're honoring the path, honoring the yogins that came before us, that laid the path, all these spiritual seekers who worked hard, diligently, continuously, to pass on their understanding, their knowledge to us, so we can use it too, and with our understanding we can pass that on as well. So you can bow the head down, staying here, or bow down to the earth, pushing your head down towards the earth. And then sitting up. So bring the hands in front of the forehead, honoring our mind, to the throat, honoring speech, and to the chest, honoring the heart, and then bowing. Yeah, release. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for this practice. Thank you for sharing this practice. And I hope you enjoyed it. So next few months, September, October, November, the focus is going to be on the Tantric Hatha Yoga path, full moon, sun, fire. And when we come to the fourth month, it's going to be light. Okay, so that's the idea, to try to really get to grips with these systems that have been passed on for thousands of years And obviously, you know, it's time tested. It worked. That's why it's, you know, it's still here. So we're gonna tap into that and see if it can work for us. Okay, so I look forward to joining you all there.